So a lot of people are offended by this comedian's joke.
But just like to give you guys some background, like there's nobody that can see me in there, right? It's just me in there, right? But so, well, someone can always see me, but I'm always like, quit looking, Allah. It's me and my friend Allah.
She's not done.
Allah's Muslim for God, or terrorist for excuse. If you guys let that joke bomb, they win.
Now, there's a lot to unpack there. And for context, I did my due diligence and I did go back and watch her entire set, which I found on YouTube. Now, the first thing that stood off to me right off the bat was that she said she was raised Muslim. And at another point, she said that her family is Muslim and not that she's a Muslim. And finally, at one point, she said that her husband, who is a white man, had to take on a Muslim name, primarily because of pressure from her family. Now, as a Muslim, I can attest that whenever I hear someone say something disrespectful about the deen or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is an impulse to go directly for that person's head. And I know a lot of people who have seen this felt that way as well. After I took some time to reflect and actually assess the situation, I started to actually feel pretty bad for this lady. Because first and foremost, the people that she's trying so desperately to entertain are not laughing with her, they are laughing at her. And us as Muslims acting upon that impulse to react and say something to her, all that does is just make us a part of the circus show. Because truthfully, her audience doesn't care. And now you just become a part of what they're laughing at. And now you become two monkeys basically throwing crap at each other. And that's not what we're interested in. The reason why any Muslim will feel the need to want to react is mainly because Muslims have a very intimate relationship with their creator, right? We have a sense of possessiveness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a love and a connection there. But truth be told, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not belong to the Muslims, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not belong to anyone. As a matter of fact, all of creation belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And any person, any creation of the creator that feels the need to make fun or mock their creator is only causing a detriment to their own soul. They are doing nothing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no sense in feeling the need to want to defend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Speaking of defense, every Muslim has a obligation to defend Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, defend his reputation, to defend Islam, defend the Ummah, right? But there is no obligation to defend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because at the end of the day, there is nothing you can say or do to anyone that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do himself. Like, ultimately, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defends us. We don't defend him. That is, defending Allah is not a concept in Islam as far as I understand it. Lastly, I just want to share with you guys something that I heard from a scholar a while back. He said that even if all of creation, from the angels to the jinn to humanity, right, from Adam alayhi salam to the last human to live and die before Yawm al-Qiyamah, even if they all got together and made sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all at once, it does nothing to contribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't add to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't add to his power. It doesn't add to his might. It doesn't add to his perfection. It doesn't add to his kingdom. And if all of creation were to gather in one place and say or make kufr, it does not take away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by any stretch of the imagination. It does not take away from his power, and it does not take away from his oneness. To be completely honest, the only thing we can really do is make dua for this sister, and hopefully someone makes da'wah to her if she is Muslim, and hopefully makes her understand why some things are just not funny and it's not okay. Because honestly, the joke wasn't even like a funny joke. It wasn't like a guilty pleasure kind of thing where it was like, oh, okay, that's really crazy you said that, but it's kind of like, it wasn't even a funny joke. It didn't hit. Just based on those three remarks, it was kind of hard for me to understand whether she is a Muslim or not. And so we're going to take whatever she says about Islam or Allah with a grain of salt. And obviously Allah knows best what's going on with her.